Hello, hello, my beautiful friends. Okay, happy Thanksgiving on Thursday. With everything going on this week, I want to bless your life with something sweet, short, awesome, fabulous, so many thoughts and takeaways. Hopefully some actionable items that you're like, okay, no, like I'm ready to move forward with my life and go forward from this place a better person, right? And then I want to let you go. Obviously, if you're on live, we will chat after. We always do, and that is like one of my favorite parts of my entire week, right? But if you're watching this recording, this one is a little shorter and you might be like, whoa, it is shorter today, and that's okay. That was done intentionally because I know if you're anything like me, you got some packing to do, you got some laundry to do, you got some grocery shopping to do, you got some cleaning of your house to do, or whatever that looks like for you. Cool. So I have been doing a lot of reflection and mindset work lately. I had this really beautiful privilege and opportunity to be on a call 3 days in a row for an hour and a half. So it was like 4.5 hours of this conference essentially from my computer right here, right? And it just got my wheels turning. And then I also, so do you, if you're one of my coaches or personally or preferred customers, or you're a preferred customer or coach under someone else, you have access to somebody named Brad Bizjack, okay? And every single week for at least an hour a week, he has been doing webinars essentially for us, Zoom calls. And he is a certified coach through Tony Robbins. Is that, now I'm like doubting myself. I'm pretty sure it's Tony Robbins. And he's amazing. And this year has been such a huge year of growth because I have not missed a single call, not one, with him. Okay, that's not true. I missed 2 when my dad died. But the other, whatever, like 50, whatever weeks we're on now, it's not December yet. So I've gotten to tune into like 46 hours plus of hanging out with this guy. And you guys, my brain has changed so much. Okay. So you have access to all of those. They are recorded. You have access to them. If you are a coach or a preferred customer under me or under someone who else invited you to this call, if you're watching this, you have access to them if you're a preferred customer or coach. Okay. So please, please, please take advantage. So one of the things that I keep hearing him emphasize and say, especially over the last few weeks, is that our life really changes when we spend our time doing 3 things. Okay. And the whole year, he's been really drilling into us, like when you trade your expectations for appreciation, your life will change in an instant. Okay. And what that means, I mean, that sounds all like cool, like a one-liner. Yeah, that I can remember that, right? But what does that actually mean? That means I expected my husband to be home at 5 o'clock and he wasn't. Therefore, I'm pissed, right? And then when he walks through that door, I'm going to be all sorts of mad at him because he didn't do what I expected him to do. He was going to be home and whatever, right? So I'm just going to shed that energy on him the second he walks through that door. Or I can trade my expectations for appreciation. I have a husband. I have a husband who works hard. And I have a husband who just walked through the door safely. He went to work. He's in my life. He came home to me and my family. And now he's here. Now he's home and he's safe, right? And what a difference, right? What a difference that those lives will lead to, right? And the first personal development book I ever listened to was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So it has like a really, really special place in my heart. And that book, besides like scripture, I think honestly has made the biggest impact in my life, just in that concept and idea of what is the trajectory of my life? Am I making progress, even if it's really slow progress, towards the person I want to be? Or am I making progress, even if it's really slow progress, towards a version of me that I'm not that excited about, right? What is my trajectory? And every single choice and every single day and every single moment, am I being true to myself and the version I want to be? Or did I just make a choice that's leading me closer to, I don't really want to be that Bryn, right? And that is totally that concept. right? And I would love to tell you that I'm 100,000,000% perfect with living my life in appreciation. Guess what? Spoiler alert, Bryn is not. Okay. I had a good wake up call on the call with Brad this morning, right? And I'll share about that in just a second. But one, attitude takes us to the path of, I'm probably going to get divorced one day, right? And maybe not, maybe that's a little extreme. But if I'm constantly belittling him and badgering him, and why weren't you home when you said you would be, and right? What kind of trajectory is that leading us on versus, thank you so much for going to work today. I'm so grateful you're safe. I'm so grateful you're home. Let's have a wonderful time now that you're home, right? Maybe we're only going to be awake for 30 more minutes before it's time for everybody to go to bed, or maybe we're going to be awake for 3 more hours or 6 more hours, but I'm just so grateful for the time that we have with you, right? And what trajectory does that lead you to, right? So if we can live our life every day in appreciation, in celebration, and in visualization, that is when our life will be so rich and so full and so beautiful. Okay. So he said that very quickly last week. And it was one of those, like, I needed to hear that. I need to write that down. I need to reflect on that. I need to think about that more. And again, I would love to tell you, ever since that call, I've been appreciating and celebrating, visualizing every single day. And I just feel like amazing. No. Okay. I'm human. Life, right? I have not been perfect at this, but the awareness is where it starts, right? So I wanted to just give you a couple of thoughts around what we can do each day, just little tips and tricks for how you can show appreciation more in your life, how you can celebrate things in your life, and how you can visualize more in your life. Okay. So first up, appreciation. I know I kind of already touched on it because I honestly feel like it's the most important. But a few of my personal favorite ways to show appreciation are to write in a gratitude journal. And I've had two different formats of gratitude journals, and you can totally grab a piece of paper and do this. You don't have to have something fancy or formal and whatever to do this, right? But literally the thing that got me through 2020, I'm not even joking, I wish I were, but every single day I would start the day with 10 things I was grateful for, because it is literally impossible to feel blessed and stressed at the same time. And 10 things, it doesn't sound like that much, but like actually sitting down to write it out, I would always get to like 7 or 8 that would just come really easily. And then I would kind of have to like, okay, what else? What else am I really grateful for? And it would cause me to like actually pause and like be still and reflective in that moment of, what am I thankful for, right? What am I thankful for? And then just even that simple act of taking pen to paper, even if no one else is going to see this, the fact that I did that just meant so much more somehow, right? So that's a super easy, simple thing that you can do. There's also 1,000,001 journals out there that like are specific gratitude journals. I was given one last year for Christmas, and it has like daily prompts, which has been really fun. So that's what I'm doing this year, because it's helped me to think of different things that I'm grateful for. Because when I was doing my list, it was almost always like, I'm thankful for my backyard. I'm thankful for the sunshine. I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my dishwasher. I'm thankful for whatever, right? Like that type of stuff. But in this gratitude journal, if you wanted to go this route, it's more like, what is your favorite band and why are you thankful for them? Right. And so like in my gratitude journal, my 10 listed things, I hardly ever wrote like Backstreet Boys, right? Or whatever. But in this prompt, it's like, okay, like I could tell you so many stories about why I'm thankful for Backstreet Boys and the memories that I have with my family. And like, that was the one and only concert I ever went to when my parents were still together. And that was the first concert I ever went to. And then me and my sisters got to be in the mosh pit and whatever, like, it helped me to think of different things and actually write out an experience and spend time in one gratitude thing versus like, I'm making a list of 10 things. Both have been so powerful. Both have been really eye-opening, right? So this is not Bryn saying like, choose this or you're wrong or whatever. I'm just sharing ideas for ways you can show appreciation more in your daily life, and then you can adopt the ones that feel good to you. Okay. The third thing that I'm really trying, and this was actually one of those things today. I was on the Brad call, and he did a little coaching session with me and my husband actually. And he was talking about like, what's the most frequent negative emotion you feel? And I was like, guilt. Yes, I feel guilt. And he was like, okay, well, like what causes you to feel guilt? And I was like, when I haven't showered yet for the day, when I haven't gotten my workout in, or it wasn't as good of a workout as I wanted it to be, when I have dishes in my sink, when my house is a mess, when my kids fight, when I haven't done my coaching stuff that I wanted to do yet. Like, and I just like blew up at him, like all the things that cause me guilt. Right. And he was like, okay, like, let's just, right. Like pause. Let's talk about dishes. Let's talk about your kids fighting, and let's talk about your coaching tasks. Okay. What appreciation can you find in your dishes, having dishes in your sink? And I was like, well, we have a sink, we have a home, right? We have food that we were able to eat, right? So that means our fridge and pantry are fully stocked, or at least we have enough to fill our bodies, right? It means I have time to cook for my family, and it means I've got skills to cook for my family, right? And it was just a beautiful, like, I can either be mad at myself or feeling guilty that I haven't gotten to the dishes yet, or I can be grateful for those dishes because it means all of those things I just said, right? Then we took it to, okay, how about your kids fighting? How can you find something to be grateful for in your kids fighting? And I was like, well, I've got kids. That's something to be grateful for, because not everyone can say that, right? And I have them with me all the time, because some people are divorced and they have to split time between spouses, or their kids are grown and gone, or they have to work and they don't want to, and they don't get to be home with their kids hearing them fight all day. They just get to hear about it, how their kids were fighting, from the babysitter or the nanny or whatever. And I get to be with them all day, every day, right? I get to hear them fighting, and I get to help them solve the problem if I want, right? Or I can let them figure it out by themselves, which happens more often than not, right? And just finding those little things to be grateful for. It's the same exact bad situation, right? But it's, again, that trajectory. What trajectory am I headed on? Am I headed towards the life I want to be, or the negative Nancy that I don't really want to be, right? And then the third thing was my coaching tasks, my business tasks, right? And he was like, where can you find the gratitude in the fact that it hasn't been done yet, or it hasn't been done as well as you would have hoped, or whatever? And the gratitude I found in that was, you know what, I have a job that I love, that I look forward to, and that brings me joy. And I really, really like doing it. And I really like doing it well. And so I'm so grateful that I have this outlet, that I have this opportunity, right? And so just making that simple shift. And so I had this aha moment with him today on the call. And then I walked down my hallway, which is a mess. Okay. And I thought to myself, I'm grateful for this mess, because it means we have a house, we have a hallway. My son was reading books and he left them everywhere, right? And so I can be, oh my gosh, he didn't clean up after himself. I'm so mad. I'm going to trip. I'm going to die. I can't believe this. Clean up, right? Or I can be, I'm so grateful that we have a home. We have books. My son is interested in reading, and that he took the time to sit and look at a book instead of a whole bunch of other things he could have been doing, right? And so just those simple, in just a sec, she can watch something on my, well, you know how to, right? Will you please? I'm talking to my friends real quick. Please. That would make me very happy and grateful. Please. Sorry, one second. Holland, if you don't do it, I'm going to take your iPad away. Please turn on something for her. Hey, then I'm coming to take your iPad away. Sorry, it's fine. Okay, so where can I find the gratitude in each of the daily things? And just really watching my own thoughts around everything and catching myself when I'm in that mode, right? So living a life of appreciation, right? And that's a lot harder than, oh yeah, I got up and wrote in my gratitude journal today, or I filled out this prompt, right? It's a way of living. But if we can switch that mindset, right, how much more fulfilling will our lives be, right? And then the last thing I wanted to share is, it again comes from the compound effect. And he talks in that book about how he spent a year keeping a journal for his wife, where just every day he wrote down one reason he was grateful for her. And then he gave it to her for her birthday or Christmas or Mother's Day or something. And I loved that idea. And so I did it for Blake. And that was really beautiful and really great. I gave it to him for Father's Day and it was awesome. But then I did it again for my sister. And it was at a time where, long story short, we got in a big fight. Like, I was so mad at her. And it was one of those, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we never talk again, which would make things a little awkward because we kind of like work together and I see her all the time. But I was mad at her. And she was just as mad, if not more mad, right back at me. Right. And I just had this like epiphany, like we got in this huge fight and the next day was her birthday. And I'm like, birthdays are huge in our family. And I wanted to wish her a happy birthday, but I was like, I don't think she wants to talk to me. Anyways, I had this epiphany that day of like, you need to do one for her. You need to write down something every single day, a reason you're thankful for her. And you guys, I cannot even begin to express how healing it was for our relationship, and 100% more for me. And it made me realize the control that I do have, not control, but influence that I have over our relationship. Because I'm the younger sister, I'm the younger one, I'm the whatever. But it made me realize that when I'm kind and when I look for the good in her, it's reciprocated, right? And sometimes we totally fall victim to like, well, I can't control it because they're my boss or they're my superior or they're bigger than me, or that whole Matilda thing, right? Like, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big, you're little, I'm smart, you're dumb, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? That's not true. You absolutely can be that positive influence in someone else's life. And so just, especially with the person I least wanted to do it with, but I spent a year every single day writing down something that I was grateful for. And I gave it to her for her birthday the next year. And it did more for me than I think it did for her. I have no idea if she's ever read it, but it was a beautiful healing experience, and our relationship has only grown from there. Right? So that's appreciation. Okay. Everything else is going to be faster, I promise. Celebration. If we can spend every day in celebration, and really, like, my favorite quote, I say this all the time, I have a million favorite quotes, but one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard is Thumper in reverse, right? If you have something nice to say, make sure you're saying it. And this goes right along with appreciation, right? But it's just taking it a step further. If I have something kind to say, I need to say it out loud, not just think it in my head, right? And that's a way of celebrating. That's a way of communicating to others that I am celebrating you. I'm thankful for you. And I'm celebrating the fact that you're in my life. You are doing amazing things. And I just want you to know that I see you, right? And I'm thankful for you. Even just the simplest little things of like writing people notes. And another thing from the compound effect, just go read it maybe. But he talks about how he doesn't write Christmas cards. He does Thanksgiving cards. And instead of just like, hi, here's a picture of me and my cute family and everything we've been up to this last year, which there's nothing wrong with that. If that's your jam, like, go for it. He instead wanted to write everyone who meant something to him a gratitude note, and tell them why he was thankful for them and what they meant to him, and send it around the time of Thanksgiving, right? And I love that. I love that so much. And so I've actually been trying to do it this year. I'm just doing one at a time. It's been very slow, but it's been awesome. So writing notes, all right, saying it out loud, writing people notes, and then even doing something as public as a social media shout out, right? I get to do it all the time as a coach, but even just like with my nieces or my sisters when it's their birthday, and just like doing a little thing highlighting what they mean to me and how much I love them, right? Or even if it isn't their birthday, it's just, I'm just really thankful for them today, right? Doing something on a more public situation, if that's your vibe or their vibe, right? And then celebrating yourself as well, not just celebrating other people. But one thing that has been so good for me, I'm again not great at it, but keeping a journal that I like to call my book of proof. And it's just spending every day at the end of the day, or if I didn't do it at night, the first thing next morning, writing about yesterday. What did I do that was great? Because like I shared earlier, I find myself in that mode of like, you didn't do enough, you're not enough, guilt, right? But if I can end the day or begin the next day talking about what I did yesterday and write down all the things I did accomplish and all the good I did do in the world, it is so healing. Because especially as women, right? Like we just constantly bombard ourselves with the to-do list. And if we can instead spend time celebrating the things we actually did accomplish, the time we did spend with our spouse, or reading with our kid, or I actually went grocery shopping, or I actually made dinner, or I made a healthy lunch, or I got on this call and listened, right? I did my workout first thing in the morning. I blah, 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 and shouting yourself out for all the good things you do, right? That has been really, really healing and helpful for me. And then doing it in business, in life, in marriage, and I just do it in one place. I don't have like, here's my business book of proof, here's my marriage book of proof, here's my mom book of proof. It's just all conglomerated in one awesome journal entry about all the reasons I was awesome, right? And it's been very helpful. So, and then the smallest thing, but also one of the biggest things you can do for celebration is your mirror talk, and just catching the voices that you say when you look at yourself in the mirror. And I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard really, really great things about the High Five Habit by Mel Robbins. And I've heard it's all about this concept of like, when you see yourself in the mirror, what are the voices you're saying? What are the things you're thinking? And really, truly trying to consciously be kind to yourself every time you catch your own reflection in the mirror, whether it's a little glimpse in the stove or the microwave, or whether it's in the bathroom or in your full body mirror or at the gym or whatever, right? Or in a glass window as you walk down the street, right? What are the things you're thinking about yourself? What are the things you're saying out loud? And being conscious, right? Being consciously kind to yourself. Okay, last thing, if we can spend our time visualizing. I'm not the queen of visualizing. I want to be better at it, but a few things that I have found that I love. There's an app, I know I've talked about it before, but just in case you're new here, there's an app called Think Up. And it is where you can record your own voice and then it puts it to music. You can pick your own songs, or there's like songs that they've pre-picked for you. And it sounds like a movie, like, you know, just like that motivational movie where there's like this awesome music in the background and then this like positive words. And you're like, oh, all the feels like I could change the world, right? Like it's that, but it's you. It's your voice and your vision and your goals. And it's so powerful. It is so powerful, so powerful. So I have the app Think Up, and I've recorded both my affirmations and my vision in there. And you can like tag it. So I've tagged it. These are affirmations, these are vision. And then I've created another tag that's like affirmations and vision. So sometimes I just want to listen to my affirmations. Sometimes I just want to listen to my vision. Sometimes I want to listen to both. So I press that tag or whatever. And it's been so great. So, so great. But just recording the vision that you have for your life and thinking about your 2-year plan, your 3-year plan, your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan. What do you want out of this life? What are you hoping for? What are you working towards on that trajectory that we were talking about? What is this person? What does she look like? Right? And paint that picture. What is her life like? And are you working towards that person or not? Right? And everything from relationships to health, to finances, to marriage, to whatever, spirituality, right? Like business, accomplishments, the things you've done to change the world, your learning, your education. What does she look like? Right? And painting that picture and then visualizing that. And it can be as simple as starting with the words, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then fill in the blank. I am so happy and grateful now that my family and I live a life using the money we already have. We are debt-free. We have a beautiful and full savings account. We get to have all these opportunities where we travel and whatever, like whatever that looks like for you. I am so happy and grateful now that, and then paint that picture of what your finances look like, what your marriage looks like, what your home looks like, whatever. Okay. What does that life look like for you? And with that same concept, we have, maybe some of you have seen it. We have a vision board and we put it in our home gym, which it's IKEA boards, right? And there's like 9 of them around our TV where we work out every day. And we have just cut out pictures from the internet, right? And put them all over our vision board. I honestly need to share it more often than I do, but it has everything that we want to accomplish and do in the next 5-10 years, right? And there's everything from, I want to get my nails done professionally because I don't want to do my own glue on nails. I don't want to paint my own nails. I want to sit there and have someone else pamper me for an hour because I love it and it brings me joy. Okay. So I have that on my vision board, to everything from, I had no idea, but my husband wants to be in a play and he wants to be in the Greatest Showman play. That's not even a play right now, I don't think, but he wants to, right? And he wants to be P.T. Barnum, right? Like in this play, right? And I want to build, I haven't even said this out loud. So here we go. This is the first time I've ever told anyone this. I want to build kindergartens in 3rd world countries. I want to fund it, or I don't know, like start a GoFundMe, or I don't know how that will happen, but I want to be in charge of making that happen somehow, right? And just all the things and putting it in front of your face on a regular basis. You don't have to go to IKEA and get a vision board like I do. I know of people who printed out pillowcases. I know people who've written things on Post-it notes and stuck it all over their house. My mom has like pictures all over her mirror and all up in her office, right? It looks different for everyone, but figuring out what it is that you want from this life and reminding yourself of it in all the places, right? I know people who make it their screensaver on their phone, who, whatever, right? There's a million options, but just know who you are and what you want and remind yourself of it often. Okay. And then the last thing for visualizing is just truly taking the opportunity to just sit and be still and think about it. That sounds so simple, so basic, but sometimes that can be the most powerful when you just really, truly try to almost meditate of picturing yourself in that future, right? And if it's, I mean, I've known a million people to do it when they're pregnant and they're visualizing their labor, right? They're visualizing that healthy birth, or they're visualizing whatever. And we can do things that are short-term like that, like 9 months from now, this is what I want to see, or 2 months from now, or 2 weeks from now, right? Or whatever. But we can also take it even further and, okay, this is what I want to happen on this date. And I'm going to picture it this is what I'll be wearing. This is what I'll be doing. This is the music I'll be listening to. And this is how it's going to go down. Right. And does that mean that that's 100,000,000% how it's going to happen? No, maybe not. But can we picture that for ourselves? Can we do our best to create that? And it really is amazing. Like I'll woo woo on you, but it really is amazing when you put these things out there, how things really do just find a way of working out. Because if you believe in God or not, I believe most of you do, but he can't bless us with something he doesn't know we want. And yes, he's omnipotent and whatever, he could figure it out if he wanted to. But it's the same concept of like our children, right? We can absolutely buy them what they want for Christmas, but they got to let us know what they want for Christmas, right? And there's a very big difference between I think they want this versus no, I know they want this because they asked me for it, right? And visualizing is 100% one of those ways where we let God know or let the universe know, this is what I want. This is what I want. And not only are you letting God and the universe know, you're letting yourself know. And you're letting yourself recognize and realize what really is important to you. So that at the end of your life, you can recognize, I actually accomplished what I wanted to because I knew what I wanted to accomplish, right? I didn't just live this aimless life, not really sure what I was doing every single day, but I just lived and yep, now I'm dead. I made it, right? I accomplished what I wanted because I knew what I wanted to accomplish, right? So if we can just live every single day to the best of our abilities in appreciation, in celebration, and in visualization, just imagine the people that we will be on the other side of that. Just imagine that trajectory, right? I'm going to read the chat real quick and then we'll close it out. Ashley said, where could we get one of those gratitude journals? I'm pretty sure mine was from Deseret Book. I'm not 100% sure about that. It was a gift, but I will look it up. And I will send a picture in our Fun Friday thread. Cool. Amazon for the win. I bet you could just literally Google gratitude journals and I bet there's a million. Allie said, I don't have a vision board, but I do visualize the birth I want to give to Lincoln in our life after he is born. Awesome. I love that. Yes. And yep, there's 1.5 million ways to visualize, but if we do it, we're one step closer, right? And that's awesome. I didn't know you were naming him Lincoln. That's actually one of the names we're thinking about if we're having a boy. That's fun. So anyways, I love you guys. I love you immensely. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and that not only this week, but your whole life, you are able to live a life full of appreciation, right? So I'll see you later. Bye.